बेल्जियम और यूरोपियन पार्लियामेंटेरियन से मुलाकात रही है, तो वो कैसे रही?
आप हिंदी में जवाब चाहते हैं या इंग्लिश में? You decide. You ask. Okay, I'll no, um, the aim of the visit is to meet our diaspora here, to engage with them, to get a sense of what they're dealing with, what they're going through. That's one aspect. The second aim is to meet members of the government here, MPs, other people, and to get a sense of how they are seeing India, how they're seeing the possible cooperation between India and Europe, how they view India, what they think India should be doing, and also giving them a bit of a sense of what we think our relationship should look like.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Microphone. Okay.
We can hear you, I think.
My name is Odile Harvey. I'm covering for a regional radio in France, in Brittany, where in fact we have an association, Armor India, which has been started by an industrialist who works in India for his company, and then when he retired, he started that association and bringing wonderful Indian culture to this remote part of France. Now, last night, I saw on French television a program which has usually good reputation. It's Envoyé Spécial on France 2. And they describe all the discriminations about the Muslims, about the Christians in very cruel terms. And was that program exaggerated? You can still see it on the website.
Ma'am.
And I know you're going to France, so I just would like to know about the situation of all those discriminations in India. Thank you.
I mean, of course, I would have to see the program before I can comment on whether it was exaggerated or not. So I don't know what that program was saying. But certainly there is an increase in discrimination and in violence in India, and there is a full-scale assault on the democratic institutions of our country. That everybody knows, and internally in India it's been commented on, and globally it's been commented on. Of course, minorities are under attack, but so are many other communities. Dalit communities, tribal communities, lower caste communities are also under attack. There is a attempt to change the nature of our country. Our country in the constitution is described as a union of states, and we believe that the most critical aspect of our union is the conversation between members of our union. And there is an alternative vision, which is the BJP vision, which believes that power should be centralized, power should be concentrated, wealth should be concentrated, and the conversation between members of the union, between people of India, should be suppressed. And so this is the fight between two visions. I like to term it the fight between Mahatma Gandhi's vision and Nathuram Godse's vision. Nathuram Godse being the person who assassinated our leader.
Follow-up question.
Yeah, so there are a lot of people here who had no idea you were here, Indians I'm talking about, and they would have liked a public meeting. A lot of sort of, people who identify themselves as liberal Indians, who still believe in the idea of, a pluralistic India. And they were like, oh, he's here, we have no idea, why is there no public meeting? So why do you think you did not organize that, to sort of meet, have an open, if I'm allowed to finish, an open meeting to meet all kinds of Indians who would have liked to sort of just see you or, or talk to you. And the second question is,
let's deal with one question at a time.
Everybody's been asking two.
Well, relax.
You can ask two.
No, 1 second. So when we design these tours, we have a structure, and the organizers decide whether we are going to have closed door meetings, whether we're going to have public meetings and stuff like that, depending on the length of the tour and the type of place we're going to. So I guess in Belgium, we sort of opted for a model. By the way, hundreds of people are coming and meeting us. And pretty much everybody in Belgium who of Indian origin knows exactly where I am, and they've been coming by droves to come and see me. But I think we decided that a full-blown Indian-style public meeting in Belgium might not be the best way to do it.
You've said in the past you were spied on by the government. Is that still true? Do you have any more information? Are you still being spied on by the Indian government?
I mean, the fact that Pegasus was on my phone is a known fact. I mean, I don't know the details of how I'm tracked, but I'm certainly tracked for sure.
Yes.
In fact, just going back to the Bharat Jodo Yatra, there is also, I think I'm very loud. Everybody can hear me. All right, all right. I have heard a lot of speeches before, starting 2014 onwards. You have been mentioning a very, very important, crisis that is coming up in India. The unemployment of the youth, which is at the highest level right now. While you were on your yatra across the country, did you meet the youth, and did this issue actually really come up many times?
Yeah, I
in
did.
Various states.
I met thousands and thousands of youngsters, and all of them said exactly what you're saying. The three things they said: number one, unemployment; number two, huge increase in the levels of poverty, and completely skewed income distribution. So few people getting very, very wealthy, and the bulk of people, being pushed back into poverty, and then rising prices and inflation. Those were the three things that repeatedly they told me. The fact of the matter is that India has the highest unemployment that it's had in the last 40 years. So there is something clearly wrong with our economic model. It's not accepted, and there's a lot of media support for the government. So those type of things don't come out. But I don't think the current path we are on, economic path we are on, is sustainable in any way. And there will certainly be consequences and a backlash to this model.
Yes, sir.
My name is Nadeem Bhatt. I am from Ari News. And you have just talked about the minorities in India. I would like to ask about Kashmir. What is your party's stance on the current situation in Kashmir, and what step do you believe should be taken to address the ongoing conflict there? How do you view the role of international diplomacy in resolving the Kashmir issue, and what would be your approach if your party comes into power?
Kashmir is, of course, an integral part of India, so it's nobody's business other than our own, other than India's business. Our position, as I stated earlier, is very clear. It's in a working committee resolution. We can give you a copy of that resolution if you're interested in reading it. But I feel that it's very important, the general discussion we're having here, that democratic institutions, democratic structures need to be protected in India, and the voice of people needs to be defended and protected. And that goes for every single part of India, including Kashmir.
This has obviously been conversation now about the name of this subcontinent.